Alright, so this is our last night. So the plan for tonight is to teach you cheater chords in two different keys, key of E and key of G. Okay, two sets of cheater chords because I actually use them a lot, or like I'll switch back and forth between them. That'll make more sense after I teach them to you. Or I'll also learn one more strumming pattern, and then I'm going to explain but not teach you what I would suggest you learn next. And I'm going to give you a handout that goes over that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So like if you keep practicing, keep learning, here's what you should learn next, here's what you should learn after that, so you kind of know what to keep working on. So yeah. So some of my favorite chords are these cheater chords in the key of E. So go back to an E. And the second set of cheater chords in the key of E, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to be moving around your first finger. Your third and fourth fingers are not going to move at all for these chords, okay? Chord is what? So we're playing like a high E chord. So it's first finger on the 7th fret of the A string. Then you skip a fret and skip a finger. Your third finger on the 9th fret of the D string. Fourth finger on the 9th fret of the G string. Alright, now really quick, I'm going to go over the note on the top E string now, and it's going to help you make sense of why these chords are what they are, okay? So E, F, right? No extra note between B and a C and an E and an F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A. You always know the 5th fret is the name of the string below it. A sharp, B, that's important. So 7th fret is a B on the E string. C, C sharp. 9th fret is a C sharp. Okay? So, that's our E. We already learned that. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our first finger and put it on the next string up, on the 7th fret of the E string. And this is a cheater B chord, because that's a B note. And also, with this one, you actually don't want the A to ring out. You only want to hear the B. So if you look at my fingers, what I'm doing is I'm pushing down on the 7th fret with this string, and I'm purposefully resting my finger. Instead of doing it like this with good form, I'm purposefully squishing my finger just so it touches that A string, so the A string doesn't make any noise. Does that make sense? And then the 9th fret is C sharp minor. So now what you're going to do, this might be a little difficult, you're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 9th fret, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to rest the bottom of that finger lightly against the A string so it doesn't make any noise. So that's your cheater C sharp minor. And then here's the easiest one. Only fingers 3 and 4, and then you want to mute the top E string because we're going to play a cheater A now. But we want the A to be our lowest note. So there's two ways to do this. The way I like to do it is I actually use my thumb and I rest that lightly on the top E string so that doesn't ring out. If you can't do that, then you can rest your middle finger or your first finger lightly on the E string, but don't press down, you just rest it lightly.
So like this?
So here's what's cool. Here's what I do. Like on a song, I might use these chords for the verse, and the chords you learned last week for the chorus. Does that make sense? So I might go. Stir in me a fire that the world, and then chorus. Does that make sense? So I'll switch back and forth in the same song. So again, it's E, go up to a B, middle finger C sharp minor, and then all your fingers off for an A. All right? Isn't that easy? So let's try that chord progression together, all right? We're gonna keep working on that strumming pattern too. Down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down. So let's do that. E. All right, here we go. So down, up, down, up, down, up. Now do a B. So just bring that first finger up one string. 3, 4. Good. Now C sharp minor. So middle finger on the 9th fret of the E string. Yep. On the E string. There you go. Yep. 3, 4. Good, and now A, all off. And mute that top E string somehow. Good. That's Stir in Me, version 2, okay? Is that making sense? You guys feel good? All right, so those are cheater chords in the key of E. Now, once you get that down, you can do something cool. If you get bored with that / want to play with something, you can put this middle finger down, your second finger on the 8th fret of the G string. So right next to your pinky finger, and kind of like we did with D and D suspended, you can do that right here. That. So all I'm doing is my second finger is on the 8th fret of the G string, and again your pinky is on the 9th fret of the G string, so they're right next to each other. And if you pull off your pinky, so that works with all those cheater chords. Now, C sharp minor, you kind of have to cheat because now you're moving. What? Let's learn a new strumming pattern, and then we're gonna learn some cheater chords in the key of G. Okay? So, last strumming pattern goes like this: down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. So let's say it a couple times with nothing. Then we'll say it with muting, and then we'll play it. So down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. So 2 downs, but with a big gap. Then 3 ups. Then down, up, down, up. Okay? Down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. So say it loud with me now. Down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. Good. Let's try it with our strings muted. 3, 4. Down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down. All right. 5. Now, I'll throw this out there. Like song we haven't learned yet, "Mighty to Save." Like this strumming pattern is often used like right at the end of a verse into a chorus. But what happens like on "Mighty to Save," and will happen, you'll find in certain songs, is actually you do half of the strumming pattern on one chord and the other half on another. So it goes C, D, so it's moves around a little bit. But all right, let's do cheater chords in the key of G. Cheater chords in the key of G. Now, just like the cheater chords we just learned in the key of E, we're gonna find a spot for our 3rd and 4th fingers, and they are never gonna move. Okay, so we're actually gonna start with those 2 fingers. Okay, so we're gonna put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, 2nd string up from the bottom. Then we're gonna put our 4th finger, our pinky finger, on the 3rd fret of the bottom E string. Okay, so the bottom 2 strings, 3rd fret, fingers 3 and 4. Okay, just like that.
Right, like.
All right. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the shapes of the other chords we already learned in the key of G, but only with these 2 fingers. Again, these 2 fingers never move. So let's start with the G's from the key of G. So your 3rd finger is gonna go on the 3rd fret of the top E string. Or sorry, your 2nd finger. Your 2nd finger is gonna go on the 3rd fret of the top E string. And then your 1st finger is gonna go on the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay? So it'll look like this. All right, so let's go back to a strumming pattern from 2 weeks ago. Down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, okay? Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Good. All right, to get to a C, it's really simple. These both go down 1 string. Yep, you got it? 3, 4. Down, down, up, 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 down, take off your second finger altogether. You're gonna put your first finger down one more string. Second fret of the G string. And if you look at it, they're basically making a D suspended, right? This is a regular D, this is D suspended. All right, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up. This one doesn't do anything. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, down. Good. And our last chord is E minor. So to make this, we're going to put our first finger on the second fret of the A string, and our second finger right below it on the second fret of the D string. And again, fingers 3 and 4 never move. They stay right where they were. 3, 4. Good. How's that? That's all 4 chords in the key of G. G, D, E minor, C. Okay? So any of the songs we did in the key of G, you can use those original chords you learned, or you can use these ones. And what I like about these ones is just like I like the key of E like this, because you can switch so much more quickly. Same thing for the key of G using these chords. So if you watch me on Sunday morning, I use these ones. Whenever we're in the key of G, I use these chords. So these are bonus, easier versions of the chords you already know to play with and play around with and work on. All right, any questions before we move on and we talk about what you should learn next? All right, let's do the strumming pattern again since you're still working on it, all right? Down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down. Good. All right. So this week I'm giving you 2 songs, not just one song. One's in the key of E, and one's in the key of G. So you can work on these new cheater chords. So actually, let me give this out to you and tell you about the chord progression or the strumming patterns I recommend to use. So both of these, I would recommend actually using these cheater chords that we just learned. Okay? So cheater chords in the key of E, cheater chords in the key of G. But key of G song is We Believe. For this one, I recommend you do the one we learned last week. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. This is a good one to practice with because it's a little slower. It goes like this. Straightforward. So that's the strumming pattern that works well for that song. If you go forward a page, key of E. I gave you this song, I Am, because it's kind of a fun one. This one uses, the chorus uses the strumming pattern we just did. So, I am. And this is one where I recommend you use the chords we learned last week in the key of E for the chorus, okay? And the strumming pattern we learned last week for the chorus. So I am holding on to, I am holding on to, in the middle of the storm, I am holding on, I am. But for the verses, I recommend you use the cheater chords, okay? And then this is one where you get to mess around with a bounce, bounce, down, up, down, up. Bounce, bounce, down, up, down, up, 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 verses. There's no space that is love can be. Does that make sense? So those are 2 songs to play with. All right, so on the back page of this is what I'm not going to teach you today, but I would recommend you learn next in this order, okay? So once you master these tutor chords, the key of E and the key of G, the only 2 main keys to play with in the key of with guitar until you start using a capo are the key of D and the key of A. And I recommend you learn them in this order. That's because we already know the chords D and G, and those are the first 2 chords in the key of D, okay? So you already are halfway there. So if you learn an A and a B minor, then you will know all the chords in the key of D. Then after you do that, then learn the key of A, because the key of A has A and D in it. So once you learn the key of D, you'll have half of the chords in the key of A. Does that make sense? Now, both these keys of guitar involve what are called bar chords. Bar chords. I want to teach you just a little bit of musical theory and how bar chords work, okay? All right? So, quick review. What is this chord? Anyone remember? It is an A minor, okay? Now, let me put 2 things together for you, okay? What's this note? Okay, what's this note? Yeah, good. All right, what's this note?
G.
A.
A.
Every angry dog. All right, A. What's this note? A sharp. Good. What's this one? Every angry.
D.
D. Good. This one?
D sharp.
D sharp. Good. And we could go down, right? So here's my point. Okay, if I push down on this one, all of a sudden, I'm not playing an E anymore, I'm playing an F, right? And all these. This first fret, if I play, so here's what happens, right? What if I play all of these at one time? Instead of this, what if I play this? If I push down all these strings, what's happening? It's like I'm raising the whole tuning of the guitar by 1 note, or 1 half note, right? Does that make sense? Now, this is the theory behind bar chords. Okay, what's gonna happen is your first finger is gonna push down all the chords. All right, so watch how this works, okay? Real quick, A minor, right? If I move my fingers just up, 1, and then put my finger here and push down all these, this is now no longer an A minor, it is an A sharp minor. Does that make sense? Because I'm pushing down all these, okay? What happens if I bring it up 1 more? What chord is it now? A sharp,
B.
B. Now this is a B minor. All right, what happens if I bring it up again? C minor. What happens if I bring it up again? C sharp minor. Does that make sense? So I'm using the same A minor position, and I'm putting my first finger down on all the strings. And I'm just bringing it up, okay? So here's why this is important and what this does for us, okay? In the key of D, you'll come across a B minor chord, and if you look at it, it is exactly like the A minor chord, just with your first finger down in here, okay? That's all a bar chord is, okay? Does that make sense? This is an A minor, this is a B minor, because you're pushing down all those strings. Now, your next step in learning guitar after this would be to start using a capo, okay? This is a capo. And what it does is it pushes down all the strings on a guitar, okay? So watch this, okay? A minor. I put this down, and I play an A minor chord. I'm playing an A minor chord, but it is making the sound of a B minor because it's on the 2nd fret. Does that make sense? Alright, so what a capo does is it allows you to play in other keys. So if you're playing with a band and they're like, we're gonna play this song in the key of B. We're gonna play this song in the key of B. Key of B is terrible, it's full of lots of bar chords. You don't wanna play all those bar chords. What you can do is put this on the 2nd fret and play in the key of A. And when you sound an A chord, A sharp, B, it will actually make the sound of a B chord. Okay? So that's probably a little confusing now. It'll make more sense if you keep playing and playing with it. All right, so my recommended next steps are learn the chords of the key of D, then learn the chords of the key of A, then learn how to use a capo. I'll tell you guys, so if you do that, you will know the chords in the key of C, A, G, E, and D, right? Those are all the chords we covered. Those are the major keys in guitar. When I play guitar with the band, if we are playing a song that is not in one of those 5 keys, I use my capo. And I make it into the chord shaped for one of those keys, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is these are like, once you learn this, that's basic. Like I know some other formations, but I don't use them hardly ever. These, once you learn this, these are all the major chord formations of guitar. Intermediate guitar involves some other things, and so you will be on to intermediate guitar.